In today's video, I'll be unboxing, setting up, and going over the main features of this all-new ergonomic offering from SIHOO, the C300. So I first heard about this chair after reading a Forbes article in which they called it an affordable alternative to a Herman Miller classic. I loved the way it looked and thought it would fit perfectly with my white-themed gaming setup that I recently put together. I reached out to the company and they were nice enough to send me one to test out, so let's get started. Opening things up, and it's clear that they spent a good amount of time on packaging. Everything was not only protected with some type of plastic or wrap, but there was absolutely no wasted space in the box. And once I had everything laid out, I took a deep breath like I always do and prayed that this wouldn't take up the next 8 hours of my life. The first step was to build the base. This was very simple and consisted of screwing in the 6 spokes to the center piece, followed by snapping the wheels in place. Next, I had to put the steel gas lift in place, which fit right in the middle hole of the base that we just assembled. Moving on, you're going to be taking the seat and securing the black metal rocker to the underside, and once this is attached, you can pop it in over the lift from the previous step. Now you can take the armrest and begin to assemble both the right and left side, and so far this has all been pretty straightforward with no big surprises. Next, you'll take the backrest and slide it into the metal piece connected to the bottom section. Then, make sure to attach the arm, after which you can then use the screws. I'll then do the exact same thing for the left side. Once that's done, there's a few more screws that you'll use to secure the backrest to the main black piece underneath. And finally, the last step is to add the neck support. Now, of course, everyone's idea of simple is going to be very different, but at least for me, this was about as easy as it gets. It took me about 20 minutes to put together by myself. There were no missing parts and all the tools needed were provided. So from a pure aesthetic standpoint, to me, this is one of the best looking chairs on the market. I love the color scheme and the mesh material has a premium appearance, but what I really think makes this stand out is how the lumbar support is a separate piece from the backrest and gives it this very unique layered look, which is most evident when viewed from the side, and overall it just has this clean futuristic vibe which I absolutely love. Now in terms of features, let's go over the different adjustments that can be made. The armrest of course can go up and down. You have the ability to slide the pads back and forth as well as adjusting the angle in and out. Next, I'll move on to what I think is the best aspect of this chair, which is the lumbar support. They call this their self-adaptive design because this completely separate piece will automatically move with you as you adjust to make sure it's always in constant contact with your lower back, which I'll demonstrate here shortly. And you can also raise and lower the full back piece to get everything lined up perfectly. And I'm 6 feet 4 inches, and having things at the second highest spot ended up being the sweet spot for me. Up top, you have a 2-point pivot system for the headrest, being able to tilt the entire piece back and forth, as well as positioning the mesh at different angles for what's most comfortable. And then as far as the lift, it has a range of 3.5 inches, and for me, having it close to the highest setting was best for my size frame. So I did want to show you how the adaptive design works in action. You might have to look closely, but watch how the lumbar support moves along the tracks as I lean back, and then release as I go forward when the pressure reduces. And I have a normal 9 to 5 desk job where I'm sitting for pretty much 8 hours a day, and since switching to this chair, I can 100% feel the difference in my body. Now another quick thing I wanted to point out here is how when you lean back, the armrests also move back with you. This is a feature that my previous ergonomic chair didn't have, and definitely something that will add to your overall comfort. Last but not least, you have the ability to freely go back and forth, or you can lock the chair at either a 92, 100, or 112 degree angle for either work or a break. So overall, in my opinion, this is one of the best chairs you can buy when factoring in both looks and comfort, and even more impressive when you factor in how affordable it is compared to other products with similar features. But I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you think an ergonomic option is the way to go, or do you prefer a dedicated gaming chair for prolonged periods of sitting? I'll leave you with some final pictures and videos, but as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a blessed day.